June 11, 1967. What had begun as a battle for survival had become a massive victory. In only 6 days, Israel not only defeated an enemy that threatened to destroy it, but gained control of the territory needed to protect itself from future attacks. But this land meant more than just security. The land of the West Bank was the birthplace of the Jewish people. Also known by the biblical names of Judea and Samaria, it had remained central to Jews around the world and had maintained a continuous Jewish presence for 3,000 years until the War of 1948. Beginning in 1948, when Jordan captured the West Bank and eastern Jerusalem, Jews were expelled from the region and were not allowed to access the Jewish quarter of the Old City, the Western Wall, or other Jewish holy sites. Following the Six-Day War, with the reunification of Jerusalem and Israeli control over the West Bank, the Jewish people and people of all religions once again had free access to the respective holy places. After the war, Israel found itself in control of both land and population that it had no intention of governing before being thrust into war. Israel now controlled territory with about 950,000 mostly Muslim Arab residents. It now held the Temple Mount, the holiest site to the Jewish people, but also the site of a sacred Muslim mosque and shrine, the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock. In an unprecedented and controversial effort to promote peace and avoid further conflict, Israel turned over control of the Temple Mount and its Muslim sites to the Jordanians only 10 days after the war ended. The Israeli government also sent a message to the Arab countries through the US, saying that it was willing to give up territory for peace. But the Israelis received no answer. This would be one of many unreciprocated gestures of peace. 3 months after the war, the Arab leaders met in Khartoum, Sudan, to discuss their next steps. They agreed upon a resolution that came to be known as the 3 No's of Khartoum. No peace with Israel, no recognition of Israel, no negotiations with Israel. Israel's foreign minister Abba Eban later said, "This is the first war in history which has ended with the victors suing for peace and the vanquished calling for unconditional surrender." Israelis were dismayed. They had hoped that their victory would open up an avenue to peace negotiations in which captured land would be traded for genuine peace with its neighbors. Instead, they were confronted by a flat refusal to negotiate for peace around any borders, the same position that preceded the war and one that most Arab countries and groups were to hold for decades after the war. Despite this history of strong rejection of Israel, later developments did lead to peace between Israel and some Arab countries, as we will see in the final film of this series.